All right, so I've backfilled my wings. I draw them up a little higher because the older we get, it helps to kind of put a smile on the eyes. When everything, according to gravity, is wanting to droop down, it's one part that's saying, hello, I'm awake. And now I'm going back in with the eyeliner. I do like using the 24/7 under the eye, but honestly, I really am in love with these Wonder Skin eyeliners. I bought darn near every color when they went on sale. It takes hardly any. I don't even sharpen them a lot because I don't want to lose a lot of the product. I'm pretty frugal about that. I don't like to waste makeup. And then I go in with some kind of a brush and just smudge. Again, you've got a good 15-ish seconds to play with it until it dries down. And having a softer line under the eye is helpful for us as we age. It still defines the eye. You know, in the dance world, there's always a joke that the eyes are the nipples to the face. You do with that what you will. And now I'll go in with mascara. This is the Thrive Liquid Lash Extender or Extensions Mascara. It is a tubing mascara. I like to make sure that my lashes are not tangled. And I'm going to go in through the bottom. I'm kind of messy with it because I get a better coating on my lashes. My bottom lashes are fairly long. And if I just kind of primp and don't make a mess, they just don't really get covered properly. And then I'm going to go in on my left eye first. I sleep on both sides. I sleep on my face, on my belly, all the things that really aren't the best for aging skin, but it's just the way that I sleep. So I'll go in on the left side first because even though I've curled the lashes, they get a little wonky from being pressed into my pillow. And now I'm doing my right eye. And then sometimes those bottom lashes want to get stuck in the upper lashes. And then I go back in on the left. And going through menopause, I've had very dry eyes. There are actually special drops that my eye doctor is giving me to try to help replenish that. So when I'm sleeping and not really aware of it, I'm rubbing my eyelashes more. And every now and then, they're starting to get, I've got some baby hairs growing, but I've been rubbing out some of my lashes. So it's just kind of helpful. And it seems that I do that more on the left than the right. So now, as that's drying down, I'm going in with my Revitalash High Definition Brow Gel. This is soft brown. Sometimes I add color to the center before I go out with a pencil. I had my eyebrows colored not that long ago, and even though they've lost some of their brilliance, if I just thicken the product in the center, and then I start to move it out. I kind of lay it on its side. It has nice microfibers in it that kind of fill sparse lashes, thicken your lashes, and just give you a more uniform lash. And I really like it. And it does have a little bit of color to it, so it kind of kills two birds with one stone. I know a lot of the younger gals like the ombre effect, but in my generation, like if you're going to put brows on, put them on. And I don't want them completely boxy unless I were maybe performing or something on stage. But for everyday wear, I do like a stronger brow, but it doesn't have to be too crazy. And then I like to take my Q-tip for cleanup, and I clean up on the side. And what is nice about this brush is, say if you mess up any of where you had them placed, they will dry down in that position. When they're a little wet, they're still kind of malleable, but it gives you time to kind of play with that. And then I go clean up underneath and clean up underneath. I really love using the Q-tips. It's old school, but it works. And then I'm taking off less of any of my eye cream. Since it has all those good peptides, I want to keep all that together. Now, let's go into lip stain. Normally, if I weren't talking, I put the lip stain on before I do my mascara and brow gel, and then about that time, it's time for it to come off. You do want to start with clean lips, but they need to be moisturized, or the Wonder Blade, Wonder Skin lip stains It's Wonder Blading Lip Stain from Wonder Skin. That's like, say that 3 times fast. But it tends to be too dry when your lips are dry. And so I put on my chapstick before I started this video. I'm just going to wipe some off. And this color is called Demure. And it's going to kind of match some of the more blush in my shirt. All right, I'm going to be quiet for this. Kind of tracing the lips. You can overline slightly or a lot if you wish. I don't get too crazy with it, but I do really go into the fullness of my lips. I know we're in a culture where everybody's got their lips injected with filler, and no judgment, but it's just kind of crazy how rare it is to have natural lips, it seems, but I'm just going to rock that because of the lips God gave me. And I'll be back.